Hey you guys, it is your girl Talk That Talk Mia, and I am back with the continuation of the love story, of course. So I left you all at the point where I had moved from Atlanta and I'm back here in Yazoo City. Yeah, the great Yazoo. so I initially said that this was the start of like clipping the weeds from the flower, and I'm referring to myself as the flower. But in all honesty, it was that plus the purging. So we're gonna call this phase here the purge, okay? The clipping of the weeds and the purge. So I had to go through the process, right? The process of getting everyone else from around me. I literally had to let everybody go, literally. It started out with the people that I loved dearly. I'm talking about the people that I loved the most. Okay. So as I told y'all, it was the start of Jonah first. Then it was my cousin that I was hanging so tough with, and the close acquaintance. And after that, y'all, it took me like, oh my God, I don't I don't know. I just know that it was a very hard phase for me. And in this phase, I started being awakened to a lot of things. A lot of things such as, the thought that, I wouldn't say the thought, but the knowing that people can be jealous and envious. It woke me up to others' perspectives. Like it took me out of my own world, okay? So at this point, I would say I started to wrestle with God. Like I really, like, I was trying to hold on to my life and not give it up. Not give it up to him. So I'm going to tell you this. Like, first of all, we're going to start off with this scripture, and for some reason it's just been in my heart. So Genesis 32 and verses 22, and I'll tell you where we're gonna stop at. But it's at the point where Jacob wrestles with God. Okay, so it said, during the night Jacob got up and took his his two servant wives and his 11 sons, and crossed the Jabbok River with them. After taking them to the other side, he sent over all his possessions. This left Jacob all alone in the camp, and a man came and wrestled with him until the dawn began to break. When the man saw that he would not win the match, he touched Jacob's hip and, and wrenched it out of socket. Then the man said, "Let me go, for the dawn is breaking." But Jacob said, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." "What is your name?" the man asked. He replied, "Jacob." "Your name will no longer be Jacob," the man told him. "From now on, you will be called Israel, because you have fought with God and with men and have won." "Please tell me your name," Jacob said. "Why do you want to know my name?" the man replied. Then he blessed Jacob there. And that was from 22 to 29. Okay. Y'all, literally, I obviously didn't want to give up my life, y'all. I didn't want to give up my life, but when things started happening to me, like, it forced me to give it up. Like, it forced everything out of me, y'all. Like, okay, I'm back at my mama's house. I don't have a car. I got here. I started to apply for my nursing license in California. Let me just say, to this day, they're still pending. And this was in 2020. We're in 2022. 2 years later, they are still pending. If you know, you know. In California, yes, they have a long process for when you do your license by endorsement. But but it don't take 2 years. I think the longest it takes is about 6 months. But yeah, we're here. So obviously I was trying to run and he wouldn't let me run anymore. I could no longer run. It was done. So right now, what do I have to do? I have to sit in the mess. So as you know, the way that things started like happening, I realized that I was like super offensive. Like I was so offended, y'all, and I did not forgive. I was realizing that I held on to everything that someone had ever done to me. Like I really thought that I let it go. But at my stripping phase, when after he took the material possessions, he started taking the the people, the other values that I had. He started to take those, and that's when I authentically started to sit with myself. And it was more like a self-sabotaging phase. Okay, so in this self-sabotaging phase, like I said, stopped talking to the cousin. But then this is when, like, I really got more shisty. It's like I hate to use that word, but that's just how I see it now. But being that my heart was hardened, I didn't care. I honestly didn't care. I was finding out things that people had literally done to me. And it was like, okay, well, at this point, I'm not turning no cheeks. I'm going for revenge, and I'm going for revenge 10, 20 times stronger. Okay. So now I'm at the point where I'm here with, at this kickback. I'm just going to let y'all in on the kickback. At the kickback, this was the last straw for my cousin. And this was a straw for a friend that I thought that I had. So we were at the kickback, and my cousin was over there, hugged up with one of my supposedly friends, boyfriend. So at this point, I'm intoxicated too, y'all. And at this point, the only thing that's going through my mind is my cousin telling me that he liked her and he had been trying to talk to her. So I felt like, there was no way that you were going to be in my face, doing what you're doing, and you're dating my friend. Okay. So what did I do? My intoxicated self, I go over there and I punch the guy in the face. And he jumps up, Jamia, you hit me too hard, and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, no, right is right, wrong is wrong. My cousin jumped up and said, what? Like, I'm your cousin, and you did that to me? And I'm like, no, right is right and wrong is wrong. Like, y'all are not gonna do this in my face. So we get on to the back porch, me and the guy, and he talks to me. I had to apologize. I was like, you know what, my bad, I shouldn't have done that. That's none of my business. And he just was talking. He was like, it's cool. I understand. But he was like, but I didn't say anything when I walked in the Mexican restaurant on such and such and such and such. And he was saying his girlfriend and my ex-boyfriend. And I was like, huh? Like, at that moment, y'all, my little heart had then dropped to my foot. Okay. And I'm sitting up there, I'm like, what? Like, you're kidding me, right? And he goes, no. He was like, it was a little bit, he was like, it was some time ago, but that's what happened. And y'all, the only thing that was going through my mind was how many times that I have spared her high school sweetheart. And it's like, okay, so this what we doing. But I was eating it up, just eating up with her boyfriend had just told me. But at the same time, I was sitting there hurt, y'all. And you know one thing? This was not a friend that I hung around, every weekend. I talked to every day. No, nothing. I just considered her as a friend because she was real when it came to me. So I thought, but that's neither here or there. But I'm just like, bro, that's not right. But let me just go ahead and nip this in the bud right here and right now. Like, what goes around surely comes around, okay? Y'all remember what I did. But here I am put in the same situation, and I choose to just, I went stronger. I went harder. But the righteous thing for me to have done was to simply address the situation to her, forgive it, and move on. But I didn't do that, y'all. The Lord was literally showing me every single thing that was in me to do. Okay? And the flesh way, like, I literally had to experience the other side. And I'm not saying that God made me experience the other side. I did that. My own flesh, my own emotions, my own, oh my God. But anyway, after he told me that, y'all, I was in, I lost it. I really lost it. So one night, I'm laying down in the bed, and at this point, she wrote off, and she don't even know it. But I'm laying in the bed, and I'm just like, Lord, I got access to this guy. Let me just go ahead I just kept feeling in my soul to go ahead, do it. So here I am inboxing him, trying to see if he's single or not. And there it is. It's the kickoff between me and her high school sweetheart. Y'all, that was so low down and dirty, okay? But please put a pin right there, because it's something that goes on deeper with this story, okay? So anyway, continuing on, and mind you, I didn't say anything else, to her boyfriend. Me and my cousin was done. Everybody that I was affiliated with, like, we were done. But I ended up going to this last person. Like, I started hanging with a person that I considered to be a friend in my high school and a couple years after high school. Like, but things had happened between us. We call ourselves settling the issue, but the issue obviously was never settled, okay? Mind y'all, I gotta sit in everything, in every little thing that goes on with me. I have to sit in it. So here I am, back in the company of an ex-friend, okay? So with me being in the company of this ex-friend, what did I start to do? I started to drink, and more drink. And I was just being me. Just like having fun, dancing, and being in the company of others. But the more that I would be around others, the more I realized that I just did not belong, because things didn't sit right with my spirit, especially the way that one friend operated when, I was around, or when I wasn't around, and how she operated with other people. But this is not about her. It's about me here. Okay, so I just realized, like I said, I was very offensive. And it seemed like every chance she got, she struck the offensiveness inside of me. Well, yeah, the offense inside of me. So I'm just like, at this point, like, bruh, no, this is not what friendship is. Like, this is fake. This is not it. It's not it. So, and at this point, I'm just like, bro, like, what, like, literally, what should I do? Like, I don't know. God, I'm tired. I'm not satisfied. I feel like I'm running and running and running and running into nothing but dead ends, y'all. None but dead ends. But here he is coming in, trying to help me. Okay? So at this point, y'all, I'm still in the 2-year phase. Like, I did not work as a nurse. Nursing was done. When I say done, y'all, I mean done. It was done. So it's like me in my book titled Side Chick Savior, and I go on and I talk about forgiveness and everything, and how you have to forgive, and how it's so easy and all of that. When, in all honesty, y'all, like I said, I was holding on to unforgiveness when it came to every person that I was in the company of. And I just used to feel like they done things to me that I wouldn't dare do to them. And there came a time when I was literally tired of being a doormat. I was tired of letting people say what they want to say, do what they want to do, and hold back my true feelings. Okay? So now in the purge, I get a chance to get out everything that was in me. And obviously the shystiness was in me. Like, because I'm just gonna say this. People can think that you're this, sweet and happy-go-lucky person all day long. And yes, that is true. But y'all, we have to know that there is always two sides to every human being, okay? You have flesh and you have spirit. But it is your decision, your choice. We have free will, okay? To know if we want to push our spirit man forth, or we're going to push the flesh forth. In the phase and season of my going through my purge, my flesh was pushed forth. My flesh, I'm talking about in every little way, was pushed forth, because I was tired of the rejection, tired of the fakeness around me, tired of the jealousness. And let me just give you guys the definition to jealousy and envy. Like, to be jealous, or to have jealousness in your heart, simply means that you want something that you don't have, okay? And you may see another person with it. In terms, it's gonna make you feel a way. Your heart will start to feel a way. And if you allow that feeling to go deep within your heart, guess what? That's when envy evolves. And to be envious means definitely that there's jealousness there. You want something that somebody else has. And at this point, you will do whatever it takes to get it. You will step on anybody. You will kill. You will steal. You will do whatever to destroy somebody in order to get what they have. That is envy, okay? Neither one of those words are fruits of the spirit. at all. At all. It doesn't, it has nothing to do with hating or any of that. And I can say at one point, at certain points of my purge, I was feeling like, I was not where I needed to be. So in terms, if I'm scrolling on social media and I see something, that someone else has, and I know and I feel in my heart that I'm deserving of it, y'all, it made me so mad with God. Like, I was so mad with God when I saw things that were obtainable and I literally sat with myself to see that I didn't have it. Like, that was horrible. And I can admit, like, that's jealousness. That is pure jealousy. Like, when you want something and don't have it and can't get it yet because it ain't your time. Everything comes with an appointed time. And if it's not your time, it's just not your time. So the purge continues. I had it out with literally all of my siblings, y'all. Like, literally. And when I realized, hold on, let me just say this. When I realized my issue with that one friend that I had to go back and sit with, and I started thinking about all the things that I ever heard that she said about me, everything that I literally heard her say with my own ears, but I just let roll off of my shoulders, it all came back up. I could no longer hold it in. And in terms, guess what? That has people thinking that you're crazy. No, it's just, if I felt it, I thought it at the time, I probably should have said it and just had it in the back of my mind that it's not what you say, it's how you say it, how you're delivering a message. That's what makes it genuine and pure, and that's what make people accept what you say or be receptive to what you're saying. Kind words are like honey, they're sweet to the soul. So, everything, but I wasn't operating there. And Lord knows, like, I didn't mean anything that I ever said to anyone in my going through phases with ill intent. It was just me expressing everything that was in my heart. So now that I'm expressing everything within my heart, like, that makes me feel like, or make them feel like I'm crazy or I'm fake. In all honesty, it was fake of me to be sitting somewhere feeling away, but not really vocalizing what I needed to say or what I was feeling in my heart. That's fake. That's so fake. That's why I'm at the point right now where I just cannot have a friend. I cannot have any acquaintances with anyone if you cannot be real with me. Say what's on your heart and mind and allow me to voice what's on mine. It's like, no, that's like, it's obsolete right now. And I'm okay with that. I've grown to be okay with that. But let's not get off topic. Let me keep going. So even more in the purge, I just told y'all about how I had the rounds out with all of my siblings, my sisters and my brother. So now I'm at the point where it's like, okay, what's on your heart? What's on your mind too? It's like everything was just coming out and God was just, it's like he just kept jabbing me like, and this, and this, and this, and this, and basically everyone was saying the same thing. Everyone said the same thing, y'all. And it was, the thing that they were saying was that I lived in my own world and that the world revolved around me. I didn't see that. I did not see that. And I'm going to show y'all, I'm going to read something to y'all, because this is where it was just like, oh my God. Like I realized a lot of, just a lot of, a lot of deceitfulness that I was literally operating in. And I didn't know it. I did not know it. But oh God, hold on. I'm about to show y'all. Well, read to y'all. Okay. Okay, let me go down. We're gonna go here to Through the Fire, y'all. And yeah, we are, hold on. This book is done. Hold on, I'm about to show y'all. Hold on. Okay, okay, hold on. Y'all, it's a lot. Okay. All right. After just, like I said, I realized that I was operating in deceit, honestly. And it was not love at all. And I felt like I wanted to be this love child. We're going back to where I literally wanted to be this love child. And I still am. I am the love child, okay? But I had to get stripped from every part of me that was not a fruit of the Spirit. And that alone was like, it was horrible, y'all. Like, my little old heart was hurting. I realized that I was walking through, and like at a point, like at one point I saw myself in a dream, and I had on this white t-shirt, but in this white t-shirt, it looked like I had been shot down, y'all. Like literally shot down. Like I had so many red spots, just blood oozing out of me. Like the blood was oozing so bad, so bad. You know, when they were telling me about myself, when I was realizing that I was operating in deceit, y'all. Like, because why I say I was operating in deceit, one feeling can negate love. That one thing of unforgiveness that I had in my heart literally negated love, y'all. It made love null and void in my heart. Unforgiveness. I had not forgiven my friends. I had not forgiven my family. I had not forgiven anyone for anything that they had done to me in my life. I didn't. And that was terrible, because those were heavy weights and burdens that I was holding on to while being in the presence of them. I was holding on to feelings deep inside my heart. But as long as everything was good, we were good. But the minute I got offended, it took me back to the last time that they offended me. It took me to the last thing that they had done to me that I wouldn't have ever done to them. And at that point, love was obsolete. It wasn't there. It wasn't there, because I know that my flesh can be very, very, very ruthless. And when I say ruthless, I mean like to the point where it's nothing goes. Not nothing goes, but everything goes. Everything goes. Whatever come to my mind, whatever come to my heart, I'ma say it or I'ma do it. No matter how malicious it is. That's how I was when I was going through that phase of purging and realizing, like God was making it aware in my heart and in my mind that I was not forgiving people. So now what? Now I'm at the point where, okay, I can forgive you. Like I'm crying out to God because I want to forgive. Now I'm really crying out for, to help me forgive these people, for they know not what they do, and to forgive myself. Now what? I go through a phase, y'all, and I become a slick alcoholic. No, for real. Like it was like every and then too, I got to the point where I was literally like I had met this guy and I thought that we were gonna be the best thing smoking, because he would say things that would just make so much sense to me in human knowledge. But this why the Lord was with me, y'all, because I would hear him telling me, okay, now this is the man's perspective. This is human knowledge. Now let me give you the wisdom behind this. Every time that guy came up with some human knowledge, the Lord was taking me back to the biblical understanding. At that moment in my life, I realized that, he was at first. No, it wasn't the moment, because at first y'all already know where our human mind in the flesh goes. Like, oh, he might be the one. You sent him to me already, Lord. No. But the Lord was just sending me things, let me know, like, that's your friend. He's being a friend to you. And moreover, he's a thorn in the flesh, because he's showing you everything about your flesh that is just not right. No matter what he could have been seeing it to be in his heart and in his mind. He could have been sent from the enemy. Who knows? But what the enemy meant for bad, God can always turn it into good. Okay? And it was used for the greater good. I got it. I understood what was going on. It took me a little minute to get there, but I got there. And for that, I'm so grateful. But like I said, I was on the drinking phase, and I'd even started back having sex. But yeah, I'm telling y'all, when you sit with yourself in healing, y'all, if you don't have, even if you do have godly counsel around you, y'all, I promise you, it's hard. That's why you have to be intentional. But being that I was sitting in my mess, and I was sitting with every person and thing that I had a conflict with, and I just couldn't escape it, it was a little hard for me. So when I did escape it, what did I do? I went to the bottle. I went to the tequila, and I went to the sex. But one person, I wasn't going around the world. But y'all, it was horrible, because God would let me know each and every time that I got up, no matter if I had sex once a month or once every 3 months, I was still sexually active. When it got to the point where God, I would wake up beside that person every morning that I went to stay with them, I would feel in my heart so deeply unsatisfied. So unsatisfied. Until one morning, y'all, I got up. I started crying. I'm like, this ain't going nowhere. This is not my person. Because if this is my person, he would see me. If you are somebody person, you gonna know that that person is your person, and you'll just know it. You will know it. I have yet to feel it, but you will know it. At all of my wrongs, I know what it don't feel like, and every wrong has felt the same. So you will get to that point. Well, I'm not gonna say you will get to the point, because you don't have to get to that point. I'm telling y'all these things because you don't have to get to this point. This was just my going through my experiences, so I can teach y'all these things. Understand that I was graced to go through this. Okay? You don't have to go through this. And even if you do, and you're trying to, get your way out of it, God's grace is upon you. But you can literally turn your mind and change your mind. You can repent, okay? It's so simple and easy to change your mind. So anyway, I got to the point of, just feeling unfulfilled. And unsatisfied. So like I said, one morning I got up and I drove home. I went back to my mama's house, and I walked through the door, and she started talking to me, and y'all, I just started boo-hooing. I was like, Mama, I'm not satisfied. I'm not happy. And she was like, what's wrong? I know it. I've been feeling it and all this kind of stuff. And then she asked me, she said, what would make you happy? What will satisfy you? I said, Mom, I know it may sound so cliche, but can't nobody but God himself satisfy me. At this point of my life, there is nothing that no man can do on this earth. It's nothing that they can do to satisfy me. I've ran my course. I don't want to be outside. I'm not a whore. I'm not a hoe. Excuse my language. I'm not a concubine. I do not belong to the streets. I'm a wholesome woman. I'm a lover girl. I don't desire to be treated like a rag doll. I don't desire to be one of many women. I desire to be the only one who you see. I desire to be the only one. The only one. Not one of two, not number one of two, not two of one, of course, but the one and only one of one. Okay? That's it. That's all. And the Holy Spirit will be showing me that, oh, this person may be talking to this person. There's something that you said to this person, and he may try your friend now. It just everything. Everything. So when I said that to my mom, she was like, you're right. You get it. And I'm like, yeah. So obviously that means that I need to be whole. I need to be whole, right? I need to be whole before trying to be in anyone else's space. And that includes family, friends, and significant other. Okay? Well, Satan knew that I was trying to get to that point, obviously. He knew I was getting there. He knew that, okay, his plan did not succeed. So what did he do? He fired another shot. And with this shot, I literally was in a phase of still bleeding excessively, but realizing and knowing that I had a problem. Okay, so now I'm vulnerable. I'm wanting to be loved. I'm wanting to be nurtured. I'm wanting all these things. I know that I'm a great woman. I know this. I know that. I know the things that I desire. So guess what? We get to the phase where y'all know that friends, high school sweetheart, we're back there where I said put a pin in it. Okay? So we're there, and I'm realizing all of my lack. You know, I have nowhere to turn to. And mind you that this was a every so often thing. This was a person that I was having like real conversations with. I'm talking about the guy now. Real conversations with, heart to hearts with, talking about, you know, what it feels like, you know, like being in the limelight, because if I must mention, he's a multimillionaire. Okay. So, and that's a place like I desire to have a ball player. I desire to, you know, and not for status reasons. Like I love sports. Okay. And it's like I could be a great supporter to a person one day. But I knew in my heart that I would never, when I say never, I mean never, ever, 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 ever be with this man. Like, no, because this is the more shiesty part. I dated his cousin in high school. We were the double daters, okay? But the thing that his cousin had done to me, he slept with my sister after we broke up. That's where all of my unforgiveness was. That was the first thing that I realized that I had not forgiven. Because for one, this was the person that had my virginity. This was the person who I saw myself with, no matter how much I went off and I talked to people and I gave people the time of my day, because I knew that he was talking to others and all of that. And that just goes to show y'all that high school relationships really does matter, because it's the start. We open up things that are really like they're meant to be concealed. We are children. We don't know what to do with all of this stuff that we open ourselves up to. You know, sex for one. But yeah, anyway, we're gonna have to talk about that in a whole separate video, y'all, about high school relationships mattering, because like I have so many accounts that I can speak on with it. So, but anyway, that was my form of get back. That was all, it was still in me, the unforgiveness with that situation. And then you come over here telling me my ex-friend slept with my ex-boyfriend too. Oh no, not gonna fly. But anyway, getting back to the subject, that's why I knew that I wouldn't ever be with him. Like, cause how would that even, that wouldn't even fly. It wouldn't even. But I wouldn't want it to. Definitely wouldn't want it to, simply because of him. No. But anyway, we get there. We're talking, like I said, we were having conversations and dealings over the course of a full year. Okay. He would always come in when I was so super duper vulnerable, just so vulnerable. And at this point, he got me at a state where I was like really vulnerable, because I hadn't had it out with a sister. Actually, it was the last sister that I had it out with. And this one had hurt my heart like really, 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 really bad. And who was my rescue? He was. He come pick me up. We talked about it. We talked about family issues. We talked about just so much and what it's like. Like, he even went down the lanes of, talking about his ex and how they went their separate ways and all of these things. Bam, that happened. And, and I feel like, okay, well, we over here being real and, this heart-to-heart conversation. We're here. We're here. What did we end up doing? We ended up sleeping together again for the second and for the last time. Y'all, that time opened up a can of, I don't know what type of emotions. It was like some, I don't know, like, y'all know how I was talking about Mr. Magic? It seemed like it was supposed to happen. It seemed as if, like, oh my God, the windows to everything inside of me was just, I don't know, just outpouring, soul snatched and everything. Like, it was just, everything was everything, okay? And mind y'all how I talked about sex and emotions. Yeah, soul ties. Well, that put me in a state of mind where, oh my God, like, what are we doing? We can't do this if it's gonna be like this. Like, this is dangerous. This is really dangerous. So here I am, knowing in my heart and in my mind that no, you cannot go down that route. No, you cannot be involved with him. So what are you gonna do? How about you just say, hey, let's go our separate ways and you give me what I lack. Okay, give me what I lack and we're good. And at this point, it was a car. And so, like, we went on, we talked about the me texting his phone about that, about giving me the truck, and it goes to in a different direction. And I'm not realizing it, but it's like, it's so different. Like, it shifts. It's like, oh, no, you're not about to disconnect from me. And I know it was something that he felt too, because obviously you did. You wouldn't have been caressing and doing all that you were doing if there wasn't a connection there. We both had the same type of trauma, the same pains, the growing pains. Okay, he was on another level. I had not yet reached the level that he was at, but to be able to have a conversation and connect on that level, and not just a conversation, but conversations, and connect on such level, it took it to a whole other dimension. And as I said, Satan had fired a shot. Okay? Shots were fired. And it changed. The situation evolved. Well, I had gotten to a point of self-sabotaging harder than ever. And it was like, you know what? I'm just going to be done with you. I know that I get real vulnerable. So, and I know how you can go get a new cell phone and call me, how you can write me on social media, and then I just give in. No, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm tired of being in this phase. I give up. I give up. So what did I do? I posted the picture of myself inside of his home on social media. I posted it in my stories. I'm gonna tell y'all, I know that it can, how bad it is. Like, oh my God, I just, hold on. This is so, hold on. Y'all, it's so crazy. I keep trying to find things, but obviously it's not meant for me to find because it's all in this book, just packed, just packed down. And so, you know what? Okay. Anyway, it's just, no, I'm gonna read you guys an entire chapter, okay? And it's gonna lead up to what I'm really, really, really trying to say and how it turned, okay? So I told y'all about me posting that picture. And then on that picture, this is exactly what I said. I said, this is for you, you, and you. And it was a picture of me inside of the NFL player's home, okay? And out of what I just told y'all, y'all know who is the you, and you. It's the ex-friend. It's him, the millionaire, for saying what he said to me. And it was my ex high school person, the cousin, okay, for doing what he had done to me, sleeping with my sister. It was my revenge times 20. That was the shystiness. And the song that I put on top of that video, on top of that picture, was Future. And the perfect part of the song that I put there was, you know why you did it. If them, yeah, I had crashed. I crashed out. I crashed out. And it was the trick of an enemy. But then, how can I say that? It was the trick of the enemy when I know what voices I was hearing in my head. When I went to sleep that night, prior to posting that picture, I asked the Lord, and I have been asking, Lord, who am I? Who am I? And in the who am I's, every time I asked that for the past 3 years, y'all, I have gotten fleshly things. The women, seeing women in my dreams. You know, the homosexuality, I'd gotten that. That last time that I asked, who was I heard the voice say, an honest whore. Many of y'all religious people may not even agree with what I'm saying, but me, myself, and I know I know the voice of God. I know him. And when I tell y'all that it wasn't even, bro, that was heartbreaking to me. When I woke up, that's exactly what I had in my heart. And I was like, oh yeah, so that's who you say I am? Okay. Bet. That put all of the fuel to my fire. It set me ablaze to crash out. Bam, crash and burn. You want to burn from me? Burn yourself up then. Burn you up. Show the world. Tell the world who you are. Who your flesh is. Because it's certainly not your spirit. Yeah, I gave the world my flesh. In these past 3 years, they got my flesh. Everything that was not like God, I gave it to them. I let them see what was really inside of my heart and how ruthless I can really get. But that did not, like, oh my God. Was it satisfying? No. Absolutely not. Because that was, it was the start of something so traumatic, so traumatizing. So traumatizing. And I told y'all that I was going to read something to you all from my book called The Ultimate Test. I said, in all of what was going on in my life, I was invited to speak on a panel about my sequel and to share tips about being a self-publishing author. Well, after arriving home from the beauty shop, I received a phone call from Jeremy. Great. What do you want, sir? Mia, what are you doing at this very moment? Just pulling up at the house from the beauty shop. Is something wrong? Why are you asking questions like that? With deep sighs, Jeremy said, Mia, I'm sorry. I don't know how to say this, but what? Get to the point. They don't want you to speak on the panel tomorrow because of all that's going on. We tried to speak up for you, but they said that it's best that if you didn't show up. They received several calls and that there were more people against you than the people for you. But look, don't worry about that. I'm not going to be there either. Okay. The start of me just going down, okay? And do y'all want to know about, like, why I was kicked off that panel? Let's just get it started. You know how I told y'all about the turn, right? The turn that the shot that the devil had fired with this millionaire. He literally had it in his heart that I was here to take something away from him. He made up a lie that I extorted him for $26,000, you guys. He sent a deputy to my home, okay? A chief deputy to my mom's house to take my cell phone without a warrant, without a subpoena of my phone records, without any evidence that I had done anything that he said that I had done to him. He said that I telephone harassed him, okay? Telephone harassed him. He said the whole nine. Anything that could have been said to make me seem like I was this evil person. He said it. And what did They do. They went for it because money has power in this little city. Okay? Money has power in little cities. But little did I know that I was up for the ultimate test. I have been tutored, purged, cleansed of everything. This is the Jamia that has thrown in the towel and given up all of her ways because she just knew that they weren't right. They were not right. Now this. So, Miss Alexander, how are you going to fight this situation? Because the chief is at your door stating that all the NFL detectives have him at your door. Oh, I just want to come diffuse the situation because Detective Doms, whomever that may be, they can come pick you up and take you to Philadelphia, and they can do whatever they want to do. Once you're in their hands, there's nothing that you can do. You're not going to be able to fight against them. Okay. Well, what if I just show you in my phone all of the messages that me and this person ever had, and I go, you know, these are messages that we have had over the course of a year's span. And I did what to him? I did what to him? I didn't do anything to him. Telephone harassment? The last time I talked to him on the phone was back in May. Here we are in June. Okay? What did I do to him? How many times did I call his phone? The last time that we spoke over the phone, he called me. And it was a FaceTime. Okay? Oh. What happened now? Oh, he called me over the phone. Oh, I talked to him over the phone. And I had an attitude because I didn't want to hear that. Oh, okay. The chief just shakes his head and he goes, I didn't know that. You didn't know, but now you know. All right. He leaves. A couple days later, well, of course, I was supposed to speak on the panel the next day or two. What happens? I get kicked off the panel for my actions, for my truths. I get kicked off the panel because nobody knew what I was going through. Nobody knew, but I knew. God knew. How can you expect people to understand? A few more days later, 2 deputies were at my door to pick me up and arrest me. They arrested me for telephone harassment charges. Telephone harassment. Who did I harass? Okay, I go. I get locked up. I say, hey, okay, you can, it's just a $500 bond. You can get out of jail. Yeah, I smiled in my mugshot because it was a joke to me. Who, baby, I don't call nobody phone twice, 3 times. You might get a second call from me, but baby, 3 times. Oh no. No. Whatever. Oh no. Yeah, that one. No, we're not gonna do it. But I get a bond. They tell me, they voice and say, okay, the only way you're going to get out is you cannot say anything about this person on social media and do not contact him. Cool. I won't say anything to him. I'm not going to contact him anyway. I didn't even contact him when the chief deputy came to my door. I didn't contact him. I didn't contact him at all. We get a court date. On a court date, we go in the court.